Hi there, my name's Chris and I'm from ACE Consulting Group, and I'm going to be explaining how to use the VLookup function in Excel in this video. So the VLookup function is a really handy tool in Excel that allows us to pull information out of a database based on some identifier that we choose, and allows us to quickly access this information and put it on something else. So let's say, for example, you have an invoice that you're generating in Excel. What we can do is use the VLookup function to find, let's say, using an order ID, and find the corresponding item or customer or any other thing from within the database and put it on the invoice. So I think it's easier to show you how to do it than it is to just say, so why don't we get into it? So for this example, I'm actually going to be editing this database a bit just to make it easier. And what I'm going to be doing is deleting this order ID column. So what I'm going to do is highlight the column, press right click, and then go to delete, and that will delete the column. Just in case you need it, if you want to insert a new column, what you can do is you right click again and press insert, and then you can insert a column by selecting that or pressing insert entire row. For this case, we're going to do entire column, and you just press OK, and it will insert a new column to the left of the column that you had previously had chosen. So I'm actually going to delete this again. And I'm going to call this, instead of row ID, I'm going to change this one to order ID. And this is just going to make everything a bit more clearer. So I have this blank worksheet called VLookup, which I will be doing this example in. And for future use, I'm going to be putting in a random number. So we have around 8,000-ish entries. So let's do a number like 3967. Okay, so now if you're starting off in this Home tab, you want to go to the Formulas tab and go to Insert Function. And this will bring up this window here where you want to type in VLookup into this search box and press go, and that's going to narrow down the available functions and suggest a few based on what you searched. We want VLookup, so we have that highlighted, and press OK, and that'll bring us to this box here. So in this box, this is for the VLookup function where we enter in information. The first three, lookup value, table array, and column index number, are all bolded because they're required for the function to work. Range lookup at the bottom isn't required, but for completeness, we'll be going over that later. So to start off with lookup value. Lookup value is the cell that we're going to select, in this case the 3967 that we entered earlier, and this cell is going to contain a unique identifier that the function will use to look up through the database and identify the row or transaction to pull the information out of. Table array is the database that the function is going to look through. So let's go to our order worksheet, and we don't want the headers, we just want the information. So we'll highlight the database information that we want, and then we'll go to the next one. So column index number is the column in the database that once the function has identified the row that it wants based off lookup value, it's going to look at the column from that row and pull out the information in that column. So let's say for this example, we have the, let me go back. We have the lookup value, which is 3967. So we want transaction 3967, and we want the product name associated with that transaction. So what we're going to do is we need to count what number column Q is, because column index number is going to go from the left and numerically count each column and base the column off which number it is. So for example, order ID would be 1, order date would be 2, priority 3, quantity 4, and so on and so forth. So I already know that product name is this is the 17th column. And if you want to double check it, you can see here, it's going to give you the output at the bottom, bagged rubber bands. So that sounds right. I can search for it later if I wanted to double check. But for now, that looks right to me. So if you have your own database, you can do it on your own where you count each column until you get to the one where you want. So hopefully it doesn't take too long for you. The last one we want to enter in is range lookup. Now, range lookup is something that the function uses to help it search through the database. What you want to do is either enter a value true or false. If you enter in true, what you're saying to the function is that the lookup value is already arranged within its column numerically and either ascending or descending. If it's doing either one of those, then you can enter in true. If it's not organized in either of those ways, then you want to enter false. And what false means to the function is saying that it is not categorically sorted, so it will look through each individual line. Personally, I think that false is the safer thing to put in either scenario because it will work in either case. But if you have a really big database, I think that true will help it find the item that you're looking for a bit faster. So now that we have all the information entered, we can press OK. And right here, we can see bagged rubber bands shows up. So why don't we double check if that matches? So that's transaction 3967. Let's go to the orders, and we can use the search function to look for 3967. So that's not the right row. We want to go to the order ID. Okay, so let's highlight this, and let's go to, oh, I did the wrong thing. So let's highlight that, and let's scroll over. Oh, there we go. Okay. And under product name, we have rubber bands, and they're bagged rubber bands. So that matches what we have. So if you can copy and paste this formula down if you wanted to. And just remember that when you copy and paste something, it's going to change your things within the function here. So E13 here is now going to reference E14, and it's going to move down all the other references within the function. So what you need to remember to do is change this back. So this is 8400 and A2. So we're going to change that back just to make it clearer again. A2 and 8400. We don't want to lose anything from there. And we can enter in a number here. Let's say another transaction ID 6400. And that's going to give us the item associated with that transaction. So you can keep doing this, and hopefully this should help you generate invoices or anything else you need to do within Excel. And that's it for this video. So thank you very much for watching. Feel free to comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care.